leave a message after the tone.
You got 7 questions due. Your life is going down the tubes. What do you do when you need advice?
This is where it gets good. Good night.
What am I fighting for?
So turn down the lights, pick up the phone, and leave a message for the Nude Clan After Dark.
Oh, yes. Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan After Dark. I am your host, Caleb.
Craig.
And Cameron.
And today it looks like we have one question on the old Skype-a-roni. Remember to get us your questions, your, whatever you want. 385-204-3921. That's 385-204-3921. Get us some shit to talk about. Let's see what we got today, though.
Hey guys, alright, so let's say I'm going to a party and I get a cake or a pie to bring to the party. And I'm at the party, it's like a Christmas party or a get-together with friends, and no one touches the cake or pie. And at the end, is it alright to take that home with me, or do I have to leave that there as the pie? Or can I take that as the party's pie? Or can I take that home and let my family eat it or enjoy it later? Really like to know because, I like to bring stuff to parties and want to know if it's bad etiquette for me taking it home. See you guys.
Ooh, I have a great story about this.
Yeah, I know. I think proper etiquette is you bring it for the party and you leave it there unless, I guess you can ask the host whether or not if it's okay for you to take it home.
No, fuck that, dude. If, nobody eats your fucking cake or pie that you brought to the party, because you don't have to bring anything. If you fucking brought it...
It's
say you are, and if you are expected
unless it's
to
like
bring
a potluck where you are expected, then yeah. But if you're fucking just bringing a cake or pie because you like to bring things for other people and nobody fucking touches it, that's bad on them. And so you can fucking take that shit.
No, so proper etiquette entails if you bring something to a party, you leave it there.
No.
Let the host decide.
That's not right at all.
No, I agree with Cameron. It totally is. So here's my story.
That's ridiculous.
Big party Cameron threw when he was just out of high school, I think. He buys like $30 in hamburger. He buys a bunch of cheese. We grill up a bunch of burgers. We have a great time. Everybody brings their own little thing. I brought like chips and something else. I can't remember what I brought. Caleb brought something. He was cooking the burgers. And TJ brought a bunch of soda, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're all packing up, getting everything ready because it's finally done. And TJ goes and he grabs all of his Mountain Dews, and he's like, well, I'm taking these home. I'm not leaving these here. And I was like, TJ, Cameron spent like $40 on beef, like a shitload of hamburger for us. You don't think maybe you should ask him if he wants to take some of those dues? It's gotta the party. You brought him for the party. You don't take him home afterwards. You ask hey, Cameron, do you want these sodas?
And most of the time, if you ask the host will be like, yeah, go ahead, take them home.
Yeah, most of the time in my experience,
that
does happen.
It's proper etiquette. When you bring something for a party, it's intended to be used in the party.
Yeah, you didn't bring that for yourself.
But if the fucking party is over, then it's not theirs.
It is.
Especially if no one fucking used any of it.
You have to consider how much the host spent on that party is the thing.
I think
You're
when
not gifting them a random fucking pie or whatever you brought just because you were invited to the party.
You kind of are.
Did you enjoy
if you're not
everything else at the
requested,
party?
Especially if you're not requested to bring something.
Did you enjoy the other food that was there? Did you enjoy, what this other stuff that the host themselves put into the party? If you did,
if no one fucking touches the thing that you brought, that's kind of a dick move for everybody else. Because you brought
not everyone needs to eat everything that they see. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
I'm saying you take a little bit of what you want, and then if nobody takes the thing that
if it's a fucking pumpkin pie, if you like pumpkin pie or not, it's not an insult to not try the pumpkin pie. It's probably good. it's pumpkin pie. I think it's a dick thing to take it back with you. I think it's a dick thing to expect that you're going to take it back with you as well. And I thought TJ was a fucking asshole for a long time because of that very moment. Because he's like, well, I'm taking these if no one's going to drink them.
The way TJ did it was very dickish because he made a big deal about it.
Yeah, and then I also took like 6 Mountain Dews from him. I'm like, fuck this guy. These are going home with Daddy Schweiss.
The other thing is, TJ did bring like 12 packs of dew.
He did bring a lot of
6
dew.
people.
He did bring a lot. I wouldn't expect him to leave
fucking 8 6-pack or 12 packs. Dude.
I wouldn't
that
expect him to
way
leave
too much.
all of it, but I would expect him to leave some of it.
But the point is, it's etiquette to ask the host before you take things back.
Yeah, I think at the very least you should ask. And Cameron's right. Most of the times I've been like, hey, do you want me to leave this here? They're like, no, we're not going to eat that. Like, that's way too much like cake. Like, get that out of here.
And
we're
for
gonna
the
eat it
most
all.
of the time, then you are pretty much in the clear. I don't know what any host is going to like, no, I was planning on eating that pie later.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, when I just ate a whole bunch of food. Sorry we didn't get to your pie. Yeah, of course you could take it home.
Yeah, so I think the proper etiquette would definitely be to ask. Do you disagree with that part, the asking?
It depends.
Would you ever ask, or would you just hoard and take your cake home?
Well, if nobody's gonna fucking touch it, then obviously I'm just gonna grab it because, like, I'm not. Because if you, for instance, if you baked the pie yourself or you baked the cake yourself and you have your own fucking cake pan and nobody took any of it, you're fucking taking your cake pan home and you're not dumping the fucking cake on the fucking floor. But if it was like a store-bought thing, then sure, you can be like, hey, you want this or am I taking it back?
That's a good point. If you have like some utensil or some like cooking device that's yours, that does make it difficult. Although I've been like, yeah, I'll just come grab it when you guys finish it off or whatever.
Either that or they find a way to save it on a different pan. But yes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if it's a party with a lot of people bringing stuff, for the most part, if there's anything left over or a whole pie left over, they're probably going to let you take it home. You just got to ask.
Yeah, it's just like in golf when someone's trying to putt and they're looking at their line, they're looking at the lie of the green, and they're trying to decide like where they should hit their ball so that it rolls towards the hole based on the hill. It's not a rule that you don't step in front of them when they're doing that shit, but it's an etiquette, and you don't do it because it's dick. It's not that you'll like, oh, you lose 10 strokes because you stepped on that line, that invisible line that they're creating with their mind as they're like trying to play their next move. It's just a dick thing. And I think taking it is a dick thing, too. But not necessarily if you ask them. Yeah, if you ask them, then most of the time they already have a ton of shit left over that they had. And no one's going to take that from them, obviously. So, yeah, I don't know. And that just really bugged me. And then from then until like 6 years later, I thought TJ was a fucking dick, which isn't necessarily not true, but it was because of that. It was because he just took it home and he's like, and he made a huge deal about it.
Maybe we've just been to different parties or something, because like every time it's been expected that from me and my family to just take the stuff back, because like every single time they'll be like, people treat it as kind of garbage that you just left there, so it's ridiculous of you to just leave it. So, because like they're not going to eat it or whatnot, so you just take it, especially if it's like within your own like cake pan or whatever. Especially if it's someone like you, and it depends on how well you know the person too, because if it's just like a neighbor or something you don't really talk to, and you just fucking like. You're not going to leave your fucking cake pan there, and you're not going to swing by later,
like
especially if you don't really know them that
I feel like you're more protective of your cookware than I am.
I am, because I don't want my good shit ending up in somebody else's hands. All right?
Yeah. All right. That's fair. I guess they both kind of have their own merits, but I do think it's like a little classier to just expect to not take anything back with you. And maybe the pleasant surprise is that you do. I don't know. But... yeah, so it's up to you, man, but it's got a dick to do it. And Joe says take it home, so I mean that's even more reason to not take it home unless you want to seem like a dick. But yeah, that is a good point though. If no one like touches it, it's like, well, fuck you guys then. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That's all we got for After Dark questions, though. So
is that really our only one?
Yeah, it is.
God damn.
Yep.
We gotta figure out something else to do for After Dark. We're only getting like one each time now.
Yeah, it's getting kind of
or we're burning through what we got too quick.
too sparse. Oh yeah, there you go. Joe said he was at a party yesterday and amiably took it home. I don't doubt that for a second.
I remember, though, that Joe being extra mad about what TJ did, too.
Well, like I said, it's because TJ made a big fucking deal about it.
And I remember Joe himself saying that you don't.
It wasn't,
then when you bring it to a party,
it wasn't just that like he didn't ask Cam. It was literally that TJ was telling you he was taking everything, and that you couldn't have any. He specifically said that everything that was there you couldn't have.
I think that might have been what happened. Yeah.
Like, I remember that because he was also like, you cannot have anything that I'm taking right now.
Getting a call
Even if you
coming
wanted
in.
a last one. Let's answer it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Hello, welcome to After Dark. What do you got for us?
Hey, so you guys need an After Dark question. I think I got one for you.
All right, goodness.
Your talk of stuff like Oculus Strip and Galgun got me thinking, because it's like, I have quite a lot of those types of games on my Steam library. And, you know, my girlfriend finds it a little weird that I have games like that in my library, but it's just like, I don't know, I just accumulated them over time. However, she's playing Red Dead Redemption right now, a game where you're allowed to be a gay cowboy, and I think that's weird because gay people, I mean, we all know the history books, gay people didn't exist back in the 1800s. So,
Of course, yeah.
like, I don't know. Where's the line get drawn? How do I convince my girlfriend that I'm a healthy adult human being?
Have you played those games?
Well,
I mean, yeah, I might have launched them a couple times here and there, you know. Might have 100% at Honey Pop or something. I don't know.
Well, that's a fun puzzler, though, isn't it? It's not the whole defense behind that.
well, I mean, is it a fun game? That's the real question. Because then you could just have her play it.
Yeah, and just be like, don't
But
worry
is
about
is the objective of Red Dead Redemption to be a gay cowboy?
Might as well
No,
be.
you do have a fair point there.
Yeah, the objective
But it
of
is an
Oculus
option.
Strip is to strip.
It's to strip other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you have to rid Tokyo of vampires. That's the true.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
happen
that's-
to strip people while doing it.
Yeah.
It's just an after.
It's just a happy coincidence.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a consequence of making the world a better place. And you know, sometimes when you make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, and technically, isn't the story of Galgun you have to like find your one true love? I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
your
totally
fault.
wholesome. You're not
It's
trying to
not.
bet all these girls, you're
yeah,
trying to keep them away.
it's not your fault that every single chick in the high school wants your dick.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's Cupid's fault. So it's, you know.
I don't think Cameron's very
Like, she
comfortable
messed
with
up.
that statement.
No, I'm not comfortable. Not uncomfortable. I guess I'll just have to see for myself then, won't I?
Yeah, you will.
Try to plant like, all right, bring it on. I want to play this, so they don't vote for it. Yeah, I don't think reverse psychology works with these people. They will
No,
just,
no, no. Of
They
course,
will
it doesn't.
just do what they fucking will do.
They
and
will
there's
see
nothing you can
something
do
like,
about it.
oh, that seems controversial. Let's make them play that.
Yeah, yeah. I think drawing the line. I don't know. I mean, thing is, you could just say, yeah, I just think it's a fun game. I think these looked interesting. They looked like crazy and zany. It could be like you could justify it by saying, you know,
It's
I just
art.
Yeah, I just bought it because it looked crazy, and I like wanted to see what it was. It looked interesting. That's what I would, how I would approach it. That's where I would draw the line. Is like it just looked nuts, and it was really cheap, so I fucking bought it. So of course I'd buy it, and like you shouldn't feel bad about that necessarily. It's not something that I think Cameron or I would ever buy on a whim, but I don't think. I mean, Craig is the only one here that buys a ton of games on sales. To be honest, like Cameron's backlog is probably pretty small.
So, especially when it comes to like getting free games when you have PlayStation Plus or the Xbox Live subscription, if I know I will never play that game, I don't download it.
Yeah, you don't add it to the library at all.
No, there's no point. I'm
Yeah.
never going to play it. There's more games out there than I have time to physically play. So why increase my backlog for no reason?
But here's the thing, Cam. What if we now start voting on those games after they become free and you didn't grab it, and so now you have to pay for a game that you could have gotten free that you never would have played before?
Maybe it's like how I blow a red light almost every day. It's worth the risk for the amount of time I save. Because one day I might get pulled over, but the last 2
You're
years
gonna
of
have
me
to blow
doing
the
that,
officer for that run red light.
I think a better example or metaphor for that would be using the HOV lane.
Well, it's still breaking the rules.
I know, but the time you save is worth it.
It's true. It's worth the risk. It's worth, like, I might get a ticket one day.
And
eventually.
the ticket, I think how many times you do get a ticket, it might actually be cheaper to just use the HOV lane without using the pass for it.
Exactly, yeah. It's worth that risk. It's worth that possible.
How much is the pass for it?
It was a question, so I called into that show.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They needed a question. I called the show. They called in the-
We did need questions. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish we were still playing that fucking game. What was it? Dead by Daylight. That was kind of fun. It got really repetitive, though, so I could see why we all stopped playing it, but that was some...
I mean, you could say
Telling
the
you
same
guys,
for like every
gotta download
multiplayer
Rocket
game
League.
ever.
After beating Caleb so many times, you get so much enjoyment out of the
yeah,
game.
you just kind of lose.
Beat the shit out of you all the time. What are you fucking talking about?
I don't think he's talking about you.
No, I'm talking about Caleb.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, and just how I had to like basically jump out of cover and dance around for him to finally see where I'm at.
There were
a lot of good clips out of that game.
There were some great.
Well,
Craig
that was when
clips.
we were first playing, but now I can find you every fucking time to just wreck you.
Yeah, because you
Gotta
paid.
get that pig.
Yeah, you paid for the pig. It was
Well, fucking
impossible
Cam
to
got
counter.
that Michael. for
He's
fucking
way
Halloween.
less worse than the pig, dude.
No,
The
no,
pig you can't run
tell
away
he's-
from.
You can't tell he's there
the
until
pig is
he's there.
The pig is the same way, except for you can't run away from the pig.
The pig still has the fucking music that you can hear from like forever away.
No, you
Once
were
hear the
behind
music,
me,
You're in the danger zone. You can't leave. You can't run away.
but
It's
you
too
were
fast.
behind me, and I saw you move. I didn't hear any music. It was just pig, and then I couldn't run
You know,
fast enough.
as someone who personally played against Craig using the pay pig, it is way too fucking fast. You can't take that thing fast enough.
Pay pig.
I had to do it. It was
Yeah.
the hog. I'm the king hog.
Had to
so,
break
I
into
mean,
the piggy bank for that one.
Yeah. Piggy bank for
I
the
don't
pay
know why
pig.
that one was the Saw one though. I've never seen a pig in Saw.
Really, the pig mask?
From like Saw 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
I've
the
only
chick.
seen the first Saw movie.
It's the chick that
And it was
becomes the main. That was honestly probably the best one too. And it's a sad thing. In fact, I'm sure it's the best one. I haven't seen
Well,
like
I'm
seven.
sure
but
they like have a history of progressively getting worse.
yeah. Well, shit. Thanks for the question, man. It helped us out. It's good times. Just
Yeah.
don't be ashamed. Just go for it. Just tell her, you know what? It looked fun, and I
Oh,
bought
I'm
it.
not ashamed. But secretly, I am deep down, and it haunts me when I'm trying to fall asleep. And that's the thing that really bothers me.
Just be like money.
Take some
is-
Benadryl. That'll help that.
Yeah, or some Alka-Seltzer. You'll.
You know, the ZZ Equil bottle says non-habit forming, but I just see that as a challenge.
Oh shit! All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Are you
thank
going to be playing Red Dead Redemption 2?
Girlfriend's currently playing it a lot, but I will probably play it once she's done, and I feel like by that time the online will be all live. So
Nice. Yeah, that's what we'll be rocking for a while.
Yeah, we're
I
going to be
think.
playing the online with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah,
So it'll be good times.
some
But
tomahawks.
hopefully, we'll see you on there.
yeah, definitely. Once I clear out my entire PS4's hard drive to install it.
Yeah, no shit. We'll see you later, though, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Zip.
All right, sweet. Thank you guys. Thanks for calling in. We got a good. You know what? Here, you know what? Somebody asked one on the Twitch chat. We'll just answer this one too. So it's from Burkham4. I only play RPGs, mostly Switch and Vita, on my train commute home from work. A few weeks ago, Schweiss said that limiting yourself to RPGs, which I do, is foolish. If I were to break out of my UFF RPG-only gaming life, where do you recommend gamers like me venture out to? I think Craig is probably the most qualified to answer this one, because you play the most RPGs. Maybe.
If you're going to go beyond RPGs, you want something that's less. You want to start with action RPGs more. If you're more into the JRPGs, because they don't generally do the action style. It's more like the turn-based combat, and then from there you want to move on to something like a hack and slash type game. Like that kind of gives you a similar feeling, because you do like upgrade your weapons and things every now and then by defeating the enemies, and so you'll have that comfort of like RPG elements and the tie into like action RPGs.
So you'd say go Diablo and then go God of War.
Yeah, kind of like that, and then just try like other simpler things that don't take quite as much like skill, like the newer Mario games. You know, like children can beat those. I mean, you can do it. Everyone can do it.
Yeah,
that's kind of the point. So I mean, you know, just venture out to something that looks like you could play the game without it being too hard on you. If you're like limited to RPGs, if you can't, like if other games are too much, then try something that looks interesting that you could also feel like you could play.
Yeah, I would suggest strategy games too. If you like RPGs, like 'cause, I don't know, like Civilization or something like that. Like those are slower paced usually, and you get a lot of time to like think about your next move and plan your future, and that's kind of somewhat prevalent in RPGs because you like if you have a job system, you get to plan like I want to advance to this and this and this to get this unlocked. It has a similar tree.
That also has a tie-in with like some certain other tactical RPGs like XCOM and various other ones like Front Mission and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy Tactics kind of has that similar feel. So I would try those out. Or just like fucking Battlefield, just go like crazy, just buy something.
Go ham into shooters.
Yeah, if you got a Switch, though.
I was thinking if you're gonna try to breach into shooters right away, something like
Borderlands would probably be the best.
Borderlands would be best. Yeah,
yeah.
Borderlands
that's very
or
much
Destiny.
RPG.
Destiny is also very RPG.
Yeah, it is.
And then it has the elements of
and then if you want to
PvP, so
know what a perfect shooter on cocaine is like, then play Doom 2016.
Yeah, Doom.
Yeah.
Doom's great.
I would say just kind of like wean yourself off. Craig's a little like break your addiction, weaning strategy is pretty good. But yeah, I think it's good to have multiple genres just so you don't get kind of tired of playing the same thing or very similar things. And that's the nice thing about the show is it's like all over, mostly we focus on RPGs because our fan base loves RPGs, but I mean we have action adventure games, we have Alice's that come out, bounty hunters, all sorts of different games that we get to play for the show, and I think it kind of keeps us on our toes.
And it tells you what not to play.
Exactly. So it's good to branch out, and if you have a Switch, you should totally get Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 on there. You'll love it. Trust me. It's great.
That is a hack and slash game that you can move on to. Yeah.
And it's hypersexualized, so you'll have that comfort, that safe space.
It is very Japanesey in that way.
Of Japan, and it'll be a good time. Or Metal Gear Solid, extremely story driven, espionage sneak stealth game,
stealth shooters.
Yeah, that's a great way to go too. Nice. He played Setsuna because of us. Yeah, nice. A lot of great RPGs out there, but
yeah, as far as turn-based combat RPGs go, I really enjoyed I Am Setsuna. Probably my favorite style of that type of game.
Another game that's in a similar style that's called Lost Sphere.
Yeah, it's also on the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like a spiritual sequel to that. I need to go platinum that thing, actually. I've got one more trophy.
The Setsuna?
Yeah.
What trophy do you have left?
Completing the final optional dungeon. So I have to kill all the baddies. I have to do a bunch of grind, though, because my moves aren't strong enough to kill them yet. So it's just a time thing. I just haven't had time. But yeah, that's what I would do. Thank you guys for asking your questions, and look forward to another episode of Nude Clan After Dark. Till then, though, we'll see you.
Mankind has always been the poison.
Give up on yourselves and give up on the world.
Every puzzle has an answer.
You dumbass. Kick logic out and do the impossible. Remember that.
I'm glad I met you guys. You made me pick up on things I probably would have just gone on ignoring.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me. Believe in the Kamina who believes in you. Everybody
Everybody deals with grief differently, right? Some people fuck at funerals. I cut off heads.